Gran finale ora con François Confino che ci parlerà dell'allestimento interno, della scenografia del museo. Prima ho chiesto a Confino, oggi è la festa della donna, vorrei rivolgere un particolare saluto alle signore e signorine che sono presenti qui in sala. Ho detto, ma visto l'automobile è femmina, è maschile, non si capisce bene, per qualcuno dice lo Spider, la Spider, il coupé, la coupé. In poche parole, se oggi Confino per la festa della donna dovesse mettere una mimosa vicino a una macchina, a quale macchina accosterebbe la mimosa? Mi ha risposto all'Alfa Romeo Giulietta Sprint del 54. Le piace? È la più femmina, diciamo, per lei.
La Giulietta, le Hummer.
Bene, prego.
I'm going to speak in English, I'm sorry for that, but in spite of so many years spent here, I haven't quite caught the Italian language. Okay, I would like to make a revelation today, confession, no, rather a revelation. Probably this project here was born in Geneva in 1955 or something like that. Why? I was born in Geneva, and every year, since I was 5, my father brought me to the Salon de l'Auto de Genève, at the Automobile show of Geneva, and he showed me what was good taste, what was bad taste. So the bad taste was the American cars of the 50s, you remember, flashy things, and the good taste was the Italian carrozzieri. And I lived all my childhood with Pininfarina, Bertone, Touring, Frua, Moretti, Gia, Boneschi, Zagato, Michelotti. All these were my dream cars. So when I was around 15, I used in the classroom to sit in the back with a friend of mine, and we were drawing cars all the day. And one day I was courageous enough to go and see Pininfarina at the Salon de Genève. And he looked at that, he said, well, you have a lot of way to go. So finally, I became architect instead of designing cars. I discovered Torino only in '98 when I was called to conceive the Cinema Museum, and I discovered a fabulous city, and sometimes with very nice cars in the streets. But I didn't know at that time that I would also design the car museum. And in fact, many journalists ask me today, what is the relation between the Cinema Museum and this museum? In fact, in cinema, sometimes the cars become the stars. Christine, if some of you have seen it, La Belle Américaine, the Blues Brothers, all the James Bonds, a Cadillac in gold, in solid gold, all these have the car as a star. And for us, this was a wonderful opportunity to use this relationship between the car and the cinema, because when I visited car museums around the world, almost all the museums in the world, the cars are dead. They are dead bodies. They don't move anymore. They are stabile. And the first idea, I think, here was to ask ourselves, how can we bring back movement to these cars so that they are alive? You will see some of the ideas. Sometimes we can really bring movement to the car itself. Sometimes we can accompany the car with films on which you can see these cars in movements. For example, you will see the Buckminster Fuller car, which nobody has seen alive and moving. You will see it there. We want, through the cars, to bring them to life through what they mean. And what they mean can be a sociological story, it can be a political story, it can be an economic story, it can be an artistic story. The futurists, for example, there is a whole space dedicated to the futurists. The politics in cars, for example, you will discover in the sector Automobilissimo, the cars most used by presidents and kings around the world, or popes. Okay, so telling these stories means that probably, and we hope really deeply that the families will come here. It's not only the machos who like cars aligned like this. Here we tell stories. And these stories, even if somebody doesn't like car, he likes stories. And so I could speak more and more about what we try to do, but I think I didn't bring any image here to show to you. I think the images are there, and we are going to make the visit together. I'm looking forward to your reactions. I would like quickly to thank my two neighbors, President Zunino and Direttore Gaffino, who took the risk to work with me. It was not always easy, but today we are at 10 days from the opening, and I think that I would like to tell you something. Until 1 minute before 10, when the President of Italy arrives on the 19th, we will be still working. Okay, I would like to thank also Donatella Bifignandi, who was the scientist with whom I work on developing the different stories. Carlo Fucini, the architect, who was already mentioned by you. And also, and I will certainly forget some, so I just say all the companies who work with us here, because it was a very complicated project. In some spaces, they are 60 meters long. And then if you have the curiosity to look at different details, we have little models like this. So we work really at different scales, and we hope the result will be satisfactory. Thank you very much.